Hello, my name's Danielle and this is Excalibur Books. As you can probably tell, I wasn't expecting to film this today, but I realised this is the only time I'm going to be able to record this and have most of the books with me. So, and I'm on a bit of a time crunch because I've got to go make Sunday dinner. So we're going to do this quite quickly, but I've not even said what we're doing. So it's April. The Reddit fantasy bingo board got released, so I thought I'd just go through and tell you what book I'm reading for each prompt. It's very subject to change because I will just complete the prompts with what I pick up outside of the TBR. This is the list I've made up, so if I want to go and do a prompt, I'll pick out this book. Let's start with number 1. The first square on the board is Knights and Paladins. Protagonist is a knight or a paladin. So I went for Perilous Times, which I do own somewhere, I just don't know where it is. And from what I understand, this one, I think it's about a knight from Arthurian legend. I remember something about him having a long slumber or sleep and then he wakes up in modern times. I love Arthurian legends and retellings, so I can't wait to read that one. Because I've not read many, and I actually can't think of any that I've read. I love the TV show Merlin, so. Next one, Hidden Gem, a book with under 1,000 ratings on Goodreads. So the day before I made this list, I saw a book in the library called Sparks of Bright Matter. I'll put the picture up on the screen. I had never heard it before, and I just added it to my TBR that day. And when I saw this prompt, I just typed it in on Goodreads, and it does have less than 1,000 ratings. I have no clue what it's about. I literally just added it to my TBR based on the vibes of the book. I think it was in a display about Irish heritage, so I'm guessing it's set in Ireland, but don't quote me on that. Published in the 80s, I have the first book I have here. I've put down Howl's Moving Castle. Obviously my edition is not published in the 80s, but it was in, I'll say I've got most of these from the list on Storygraph, so if they're not accurate, but we'll check this one. It says text copyright 1990. But it was in the listing grid, so maybe it was published in 1989 somewhere. I'll do more research into this, but hopefully this is what I'm reading for published in the 80s. I don't know what this is about. I've actually never read the synopsis, but I'll have a quick read now. So a witch of waste has put a curse upon Sophie, the main character, and she travels to Howl's Moving Castle to get help, which is a moving castle which hovers over the nearby hills. That's all I need to know, really. I know it's a Studio Ghibli film. I'm not sure if this is middle grade or YA. I assume it is maybe YA. I don't read a lot of YA or middle grade books, so this will be something different for me to read. So the next one is High Fashion. Clothing or fashion or fibre arts are important to the plot. And I picked for that one Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which is the new Hunger Games book. Now I don't know what the fashion element is this. I'm guessing it's going to be like the Hunger Games where they had the gowns and the Catching Fire gown and stuff. But it was an option on Storygraph, so we can see if it counts when I read it. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if any of these books don't fit the prompts. This one is about Hamish's games. Hamish is probably everyone's favourite character. I can't wait to see his story, and when the film comes out, hopefully next year. The next one is Down with the System. Main plot revolves around disrupting the system. For this one I picked Babel by R.F. Kuang. Now this one was on last year's bingo TBR, and it's been on quite a lot of TBRs, and I never pick it up because I'm quite intimidated by it. I've read books by R.F. Kuang before. I read The Poppy War and I didn't continue the series because I actually didn't like it. I really liked the first half of the book, but I really didn't like the second half, so I just DNF'd that series there. I'm hoping I will like this one. It's a Dark Academia set in Oxford in 1836, which is I do like historical fantasies. I think I'll like this one better. And it says here, until the school becomes a prison, but can a student stand up against an empire? So that sounds like it fits the prompt perfectly. Number 6, Impossible Places, set in a location that would break a physicist. So We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cliwer. I'm not sure how to pronounce that surname. This is a haunted house story, I think. I'm not sure how this fits with the prompt, but I'm guessing strange things start happening to the house. I don't really want to read into it because I want it to be a surprise when I get into it. But I love the cover of this book. It's all a bit like glitchy, so I'm wondering if like there's going to be some sort of strange thing going on in the with the rooms, the house. We're not going to know if it's in like the character's head or if it's actually happening. Which I like stories like that. Number 7? Yep, A Book in Parts. A book separated into sections. I've actually already read this one, and if you watched my last vlog you would have seen it, but for this one I put in head like a hole because as I was reading it I realised it was set into parts. So if you want to know my thoughts on that one you can watch my vlog, but I thought it was just okay. It's about a body of a woman that got like fished out of the sea by this fisherman, and strange things start happening around the backstory and a group of friends and how she ended up in the water. That one's already been completed. So number 8, Gods and Pantheons, featuring divine beings. For this one, I do have this book somewhere, but again, I can't find it. I have like a big TBR closet and all the books are stacked at the back, so I couldn't get to it. But for this one, I put The Wolf in the Whale. I have had this book for years, so I keep forgetting about it and I need an excuse to get to it. I didn't know it was about gods and stuff until I saw it in the Storygraph options, which has actually made me really excited to get to it. I think it's sort of like a Norse fantasy, which I really want to start reading more of these. Number 9, last in the series, is The Forsaken Throne, which is the last book in the King Fountain series. It's set up in, like, I think it's been 2 trilogies. Let me check. Yeah, so this is the 6th book, so this is like the last of the 3rd trilogy. And this is one of my all-time favourite series, and I've spoken about it a lot in the past few videos, so I won't say much more about it. Yeah, it's just a high fantasy that I've been really enjoying with a unique magic system, and I'm going to be finishing it soon. Number 10 is a book club read. So it's a book from one of their book clubs. It could be from any year, I think. And I went on. I saw that The Tiller of Small Fortunes is on there, which I had recently brought from Waterstones, so I'm looking for an excuse to read this book. So I just straight away put that one on there. This is a signed edition with sprayed edges. I got this one with a voucher I got for Christmas for Waterstones. Just a cosy fantasy, which some of my favourite books have been cosy fantasies like Legends and Lattes. I think this one's about a group of people that are going on a journey to they're searching for a lost child. But I'm always down to read a cosy fantasy, and this is one of the most recent ones I've got. Number 11, A Parent Protagonist. I didn't actually know this one could fit in for this prompt, but it's Between Two Fires by Christopher Bullman. I actually had this one on last year's TBR as well. I really want to read it, but I'm quite intimidated by it. I just feel like it's going to be quite dense because it's like a medieval horror, and I think it's like going to be like quite a religious story, but it's like set in the Black Death times. So going to take a journey across medieval France, and one of them must be a parent of some sort because it was in the Storygraph list for this challenge. 12. So this one is where the book's mainly diary entries, letters or journal entries, stuff like that, mixed media. So for this one I picked Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I love collecting these cloth-bound classics. I've got The War of the Worlds in this edition as well. I want to read more classics, so I always try and put a classic on this list. I thought Frankenstein might be one of the easier ones to put in. I've never read any Frankenstein retellings, or I've not really watched any Frankenstein films either, so I really want to get into this one. And I think the first Frankenstein thing I should read is the original story. So published in 2025, I picked A Language of Dragons, which I got in Hay on Wye. I think this is the only book I have at the minute that is published in 2025, but I'm sure as we go through the year I'm going to get more. So this one is subject to change because it's quite an open prompt. But yeah, this book seems quite popular at the minute. I think it's set in the 1900s, around that time, somewhere 1920s I think it's set in, which isn't one of my favourite time settings, so I'm a bit wary going into this one. But it's got dragons in it and they're learning about the language, so I don't see what could go wrong with that. Number 14, Author of Colour. I've put down for that one in the miso soup because I got it recently and I'm trying to get through the books that I'm buying, not as soon as I get them but quite close to getting them, because I'm buying books and they're just sitting on my bookshelf for years and I'm not getting to them. So I thought I'd put another recent purchase on this. I got this from the charity shop and it's set in Japan. It's set in Tokyo. It's about a guided tour around Tokyo, but his behaviour is odd. So yeah, it's about a guy acting a bit weird, maybe having, it says murderous desires, so I'm a bit scared to read this, but I'm sure I'll like it. Small press, self-published. So for this one I picked Beware of the Chicken, or Beware of Chicken, which I've been wanting to read for so long. It's on Kindle Unlimited and I'm just so intrigued about what this is about. I just really want to read it. I actually might read this next, thinking about it now. I've had it on my Kindle for ages. I didn't want to read, I've not read into it because I'm hoping it'll be like a cosy farming fantasy, maybe. I guess we'll see soon. Okay, so next one, number 16, is Biopunk. Focuses on biotechnology and all its consequences. So for this one I picked, I really struggled with this one. I couldn't think of anything, and as soon as I saw a Psalm for the Wild World on the list, I quickly put that on because it's really short. It's a novella. I don't really like steampunk stuff. I think this is sort of a cozier book again. I think it has something to do about a monk and a robot, but I'm not sure what it's about. I found it at a library sale, so I just got it because I recognise the author. I think it's Becky Chambers, and I want to read some books from her because everyone seems to love them. Number 18 is LGBTQA plus protagonist, and for this one I picked My Darling Dreadful Thing by Joanna Van Veen. This one is about a girl who has a spirit companion that only she can see, and she makes a connection with Agnes. Two of them have a seance, and so I guess they're gonna have a romance. And I love the cover for this book as well. You can't really see it, but yeah. So for number 19 you can read 5 short stories. I just like to get a anthology collection, but mine is down on this bottom shelf, and I got Baker's Dozen down for this prompt, and it's some horror short stories. It says 13 tantalising tales of terror with a lineup of independent horror authors. Stories ranging from delightful to disturbing. You're sure to find something to please your sweet spot. I've been wanting to read this one for ages, so this is the short story collection I've put down for this prompt. 20. Stranger in a Strange Land deals with a foreigner in a new culture. So I have put Fairy Tale by Stephen King, which I've been meaning to get to since it come out, because I pre-ordered this, which I do for every Stephen King book. This come out in 2022, so it's about time I got to this one, because I pre-ordered it and I only really want to pre-order books that I'm desperate to get to. This one is about Charlie Reed, who is a kid whose mum died in a hit and run, so he has learned to take care of himself. He starts doing jobs for this recluse that's living at the top of a big hill. Basically, in the shed there's a portal to another world. This one is going to a whole new strange land, a whole new world, but this is Stephen King's book, so I'm going to give it a go. Okay, only a few left now. 21, recycle an old bingo square. Okay, so I didn't put down what square I recycled this for, but this is where you can use a square from a past bingo board and use it on this bingo board. I did put a book down, but I didn't put down what prompt I was taking it from. This is dusty because it's been up there on the top of my bookshelves, but I put nothing but blackened teeth for some sort of prompt, and I picked this one because it's small. I just got this from Vinted recently, so again trying to get to the books that I am buying, but this has something to do. This is not what I thought it was. I thought this was about like a witch doctor thing, but I'm thinking of a completely different book and I don't know what it is. But anyway, this one is set in Japan again. A haunted house. An abandoned mansion is hungry for its new guests, so it welcomes them all, welcomes the demons inside them, because it is built on foundations of sacrifice and bone. Sounds interesting though, so I will keep this one in this prompt. Oh yeah, you can tell it's set in Japan from the cover. Number 22, a cozy fantasy, which I put Flower Heart. I got this a few years ago for my birthday and still haven't got to it because I keep forgetting that I have it. I think this one is actually a YA, which is probably why I found myself not reaching for it. She's got to heal her dad because poisonous flowers bloom in his chest, but the only way to heal him is an extremely difficult spell that requires perfect control. The only person willing to help is her former best friend, Xavier, who's grown from a sweet, shy child to someone distant and mysterious. So I'm guessing this is going to be a romance between them, which I'm not a big romance person. I'm more here for the fantasy, but I'm hoping it'll be more on the cozy fantasy side and less on the romance, but we shall see. 23, generic title. A book with either blood, bone, broken court, dark shadow, song, sword or throne in the title. And I picked Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. I read Sword of Kaigen at the start of this year and absolutely loved it. And I think I'm gonna love this one even more because I think this is set in a school of magic, which is one of my favourite settings. Okay, so the main character is the first woman ever admitted to the High Magistracy at the University of Magics and Industry. She passes her qualifying exam to become a High Mage, and her new colleagues are determined to make her feel welcome. Instead of a qualified lab assistant, they give her a janitor. I think I read a vlog of someone reading it. I think it was Riley reading this, and I'm sure she mentioned there's some sort of like plague or something outside the city. If that is this book, then I'm really excited to get to this one. Last prompt is pirates. Now I was struggling with this one again because I couldn't think of anything that had pirates on it. Now I'm looking at the cover, it's pretty obvious because there's a pirate ship on the cover, but I have put Stardust by Neil Gaiman, which is one of my favourite films as a kid. I'm gonna have to watch the film again. I've not watched it for probably about 10 years, but I don't remember pirates. But I don't know how different the book is from the film, but from the film I can remember the main character called Tristan is trying to like court this lady from the village, and they see a shooting star fall, and he goes on a journey across the wall to get this fallen star for her. So it says into the mysterious land of the fairy. So I think it sounds like, from what I remember, the book is a bit different from the film, so that makes it even more exciting to read. But yeah, that is all the books that I have planned to read for Reddit Fantasy Bingo. Like I say, most of these probably will change. Some of them are from last year's TBR that I didn't get to. I'll just complete prompts as I'm naturally reading throughout the year, and then if I need to catch up, I'll pull some of these books and read them to complete some of the harder prompts. That's all I have got to say today, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.